You spot a deer in the woods, you freeze, and somewhere in that half second, without deciding to, you stop breathing. You don't notice it happening. Nobody ever does, but it happens almost every single time. Your chest goes still, your shoulders lock, your eyes widen just slightly, tracking the animal's every twitch. It feels like curiosity. It is not curiosity. It is a survival circuit older than language, and it is still running the show. Neuroscientist Joseph LeDoux spent decades mapping this exact response in the brain. He found that the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure buried deep in your skull, can detect a potential threat and trigger a bodily reaction before your conscious mind even registers what it's looking at. You are reacting to the deer before you've finished thinking, deer. Breath is the first thing to go. Why breath, of all things? Because breathing makes sound. And sound, to a nervous system built for a world full of predators, is the fastest way to get noticed. Holding still and holding your breath isn't a choice. It's a switch flipped by biology, one that predates human beings by millions of years. Trauma researcher Peter Levine calls this the freeze response, and he found something the textbooks had missed for decades. Animals in the wild freeze constantly when threatened. And then, once the danger passes, they shake it off, literally, trembling for a few seconds until the tension releases. Watch a rabbit after a near miss with a hawk. It shudders, resets, and goes back to grazing like nothing happened. Humans mostly skip that part. You freeze, your breath catches, the deer moves on, and instead of shaking it off like the rabbit, you just continue your hike. The tension has nowhere to go. Psychiatrist Porges took this further with what he calls Polyvagal theory, showing that your nervous system is constantly scanning for safety versus danger, completely outside your awareness, a process he named neuroception. Your body made a threat assessment in the woods today, and you weren't even in the meeting. Here's the part that should stop you for a second. This same circuit fires when your phone buzzes with an unread email from your boss. It fires when headlights swing across your bedroom ceiling at 2 a.m. It fires during an argument, right before you say something you don't mean. Different forest, same freeze. You are walking around every day with a nervous system tuned for deer in the woods, except now the deer is a notification, or a tone of voice, or a silence that lasted 1 second too long. So the next time you catch yourself holding your breath, at your desk, in traffic, mid-conversation, ask yourself what you're actually looking at. Because your body already answered that question. It's been answering it since before you were born. You spot a deer in the woods, you freeze. But the real freeze started long before the deer, and it hasn't ended since.